For anybody who has eyes to see, it's obvious that CNN, MSNBC, Fox News, CBS, and all the other alphabet soup, Operation Mockingbird, CIA-influenced fake stream media outlets are liars. And they're quickly losing viewers and market share as alternative media influencers are filling the vacuum left by corporate broadcasters and self-proclaimed authoritative corporate journalists. And of course, the main reason for this is almost entirely due to the fact that people are waking up to legacy media's utter inability to look at the world with an objective, critical, unbiased journalistic eye. They pander to the whims of their advertisers and powerful overlords as they overtly lay bare their society-destroying agendas and spew their narratives. On the other side of the media spectrum, alternative media influencers and independent journalists who really grew up as a result of being tired of the disinformation coming out of mainstream sources are and have been showing signs of the same inability to parse current events in an objective manner. While mainstream media continues to fan the flames and brighten the spotlight on the three-ring circus under the big top as they froth at the mouth in their headlong, insanely irrational, non-stop attacks on Trump, while they promote their own leftist bias, mind you, alternative media seems to have gotten themselves caught in the inevitable vortex of their own cognitive dissonance as they turn their heads away from the plain facts staring them right in the face. Remember, guys, cognitive dissonance is insidious and is no respecter of parties or persons. It's the inability to come to terms with the inconsistencies and contradictions that rattle around in people's minds. It's the act of continuing to hold on to thoughts, beliefs, and ideas that run counter to in-your-face facts. In this video right here, I'm only going to give you one example of Trump's proponents turning a blind eye to or minimizing outright lies that appear to be too uncomfortable for them to deal with, let alone acknowledge and condemn. And the reason this is important is if you can't come to terms with something this blatant, how are you ever going to deal with issues that aren't quite as obvious? Here's a question Trump was asked in the Oval Office as he was meeting with Team USA for the 2019 Special Olympics.
Mr. President, if I may, when your supporters last night were chanting, "Send her back," why didn't you stop them? Why didn't you ask them to stop saying that?
Well, number one, I think I did. I started speaking very quickly. It really was a loud, I disagree with it, by the way, but it was quite a chant, and I felt a little bit badly about it. But I will say this, I did, and I started speaking very quickly, but it started up rather fast, as you probably noticed.
We all know that this is off the heels of Trump's tweet that almost every mainstream media outlet is framing to be racist rhetoric. And we also know that mainstream media likes pulling the race card in order to further divide this country. Remember, they're only there to distract, deceive, divide, and profit from us. Personally, I don't think that telling somebody, namely Ilhan Omar, to go back to her own country and fix it and then come back and tell us how it's done and that she can't leave fast enough is racist. For example, a Caucasian American can tell another Caucasian American who keeps complaining about your state, hey, if you don't like it here in Tennessee or Oklahoma or wherever, go back to San Francisco shithole or LA or wherever you came from, because we don't need you here. You're obviously not being racist. It doesn't matter what color your skin is. You're just saying, quit complaining or leave. First of all, Trump says he thinks he did tell them to stop saying that. Well, he didn't. Number two, he says that he began to speak very quickly after that, and he didn't. And number three, he says he disagreed with the chant. Guys, let's be honest. None of that is true. They're all lies. I'll play the question again, and then we'll play what actually happened. And let me just tell you, if cognitive dissonance is working in your brain, you are not going to want to come to terms with this.
Mr. President, if I may, when your supporters last night were chanting, "Send her back," why didn't you stop them? Why didn't you ask them to stop saying that?
Well, number one, I think I did. I started speaking very quickly. It really was a loud, I disagree with it, by the way, but it was quite a chant. And I felt a little bit badly about it, but I will say this, I did, and I started speaking very quickly, but it started up rather rather fast, as you probably noticed.
Omar has a history of launching vicious anti-Semitic screeds. And she talked about the...
But it was quite a chant, and I felt a little bit badly about it. But I will say this, I did, and I started speaking very quickly, but it started up rather fast.
Let's be honest. You can tell from the rally that he had no intention of making them stop chanting. It's startling and noteworthy that none of what Trump said was true. And there was no reason to lie. The guy knows that anybody can go back and review the video, and any honest person with 2 brain cells to rub together would immediately know that he lied. Here's the concern, guys. I haven't seen one Trump channel call him out on this. And not just on this, but a plethora of lies. I haven't seen one Trump channel offer up legitimate criticism. It's almost like they're blind to and wholly incapable of calling Trump out for the many lies he's told and the many freedom-snatching policies that he's put in place. And when you do mention something like, well, you know, he put Steve Mnuchin, a Goldman Sachs Zionist banking insider, in there as the Treasury Secretary, and they're like, yeah, but look at the jobs. Look at all the jobs he's created. Black unemployment's down. Hispanic unemployment's down. The economy's booming. And I think one of the reasons that they're unable and unwilling to criticize him is because they fear being called a leftist if they just told the truth. Now, anytime I upload a video like this where I criticize Trump for his lies and his policies that in some cases are worse than Obama's, I'm called a leftist or a libtard. People accuse me of working for CNN or I'm a CIA COINTELPRO insider. And what's interesting is that when the Communist News Network or MSLSD or any fake stream media outlet does call Trump out on his lies, sometimes they're just plain right. Facts are facts, and they still don't care about your feelings. And there's another thing you should know about facts. They don't care who speaks them. But this powerful psychological operation, where the social engineers have so ingrained the left versus right paradigm into our brains, gets people on both sides to deny the truth simply because the other side proclaimed it. And if that's really where we're at, where you can look at somebody lie through their teeth on camera and you're unable to call it out for the lie that it is and the liar they are, we're doomed as a nation. We've already lost. Leave your thoughts about this for the world and the Google Thought Police in the comments section below.
The crowd themselves started chanting this, and it wasn't the whole crowd, it was a couple of people.
It was quite a chant.
Right there in the front, but he didn't say it.
If you don't love our country, the president said it. You can leave. Right?
He didn't say it.
The president said it. You can leave.